February the 19th, 2021. As you're looking at an article this morning coming out of Zero Hedge, and it's about the Texas energy prices, and people are finally starting to get some of their power bills in. And guys, it's only been a week's worth of power that was really under the stress mode, and the people that have been without power and survived may be the lucky ones, because it says the outages morph into outrage as Texans slap with mind-blowing power bills. We reported on this from Jump Street when this ice hit. Said the rolling blackouts that plunged up to 15 million Texans into darkness amid a historic cold snap are diminishing by the end of the week. And guys, it is supposed to get warmer next week. That's a good thing. We're at 30 degrees at 10:16 a.m. Central. The real feel is 25, and when I woke up at 6, the real feel was 16. Now, it's supposed to get that cold again tonight, but at least it's not cloudy today. It's bright sunshine, and we are supposed to break 40 degrees. That's going to let a lot of things thaw out. There's still foot-long icicles hanging off of our home here. This area just doesn't see this tight weather, and the ground's still white with ice. That's been going on since Monday. So I mentioned this before. A lot of times in the South, you may see a snow come in January or February, maybe something like that. Next day, it's gone. You know, it's sunny, warming back up. Everything's melting off. This has really been a long-lasting, very cold storm. I think today may be the first time since things went downhill at the first of the week that we're going to break freezing. And so there's still a lot of people without power. There's a lot of people without water. But the rolling blackouts seem to be coming to an end. And some of the, I don't know if they were all of them were rolling. If we call a week without being with power a rolling blackout, then I'd hate to see a major power outage. But it says, again, the rolling blackouts that plunged 15 million Texans into darkness amid a historic cold snap are diminishing by the end of the week. About 188,000 customers were without power in the state on Friday morning. That's this morning. Days after power prices jumped from $50 a megawatt to more than $9,000. The horror stories pour in for those who had power this week during grid chaos, as they are mind-boggled how their energy bills skyrocketed. None of these horrifying power bill stories below should shock, and it was Zero Hedge that brought this up first. They stay tuned in with the stock market and gas prices, things like that. But it says they had done an article called "Power Bills to the Moon: Chaos Shock as Electricity Prices Across U.S. Explode." So they're talking about not just Texas, but most of this article is about that. And for you folks out there across the nation, if you don't mind, and you don't have to put your name or address or anything like that, but just let us know what your power bill is for the month so we can kind of see what's going on. Because as I read this, you're going to see that people can't afford it. They're not going to be able to pay it. It says Texas, who were on a variable or index plan with power companies, are only now reporting their bills have jumped hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars for the month. Again, it wasn't an entire month's, it was an entire month's bill, but only a week of this price chaos. And what they're talking about on the variable or index plans, whatever price came into the grid, the people that were supplying electricity, that was passed on. It wasn't a fixed rate. And then they were told they had the option, but with all the power down and everything, they had to deal with another week before they could change that option either. But it says Roy Pierce told Newsweek he owes the electric company Griddy $8,162 for his electricity usage this month. He said that's a massive increase from his usual $387 bill. Look at the difference. It's mind-blowing. I honestly didn't believe the price at first, Pierce said. It's not a great feeling knowing that there's a looming bill that we just can't afford, and that's exactly right. Some people say we won't pay it, and it's not really that. It's a lot of people can't pay it. And so I don't know what's going to happen. We're early in the game on this. I know, again, the outages, like they're saying, are turning to outrage. Will they be able to spread this bill out over a year, where you're adding an extra $700 or $800 to $1,000 a month to your normal bill to pay for this week? Pierce was one of the lucky ones who maintained power through the entire grid crisis, but it came at a steep cost. Sure did. There's nothing we can do. There's already an insane thing. This is already an insane thing, and I don't care about the money when it comes to people's health. Pierce said, adding that if the virus pandemic hadn't affected his work, we could have taken care of this. Other horror stories of soaring power bills flood local television stations across the Lone Star State. When food and housing insecurities are incredibly high due to pandemic job loss, many folks in Texas who were on variable power plans could be financially devastated. Mine is over $1,000, someone said, from WFAA out of Dallas. Not sure how. 700 square foot apartment I've been keeping at 60 degrees. One couple said when your electric company tells you to switch, but there has been a hold on switching for over a week now, using as little as possible in a 1,300 square foot home. This is the bill. They said last year they paid $1,200 for the whole year. That's a pretty conservative bill. You average $100 a month. But now it's $3,800 just for this month. A tweet accompanied by the screenshot of their bill showed the $3,800 bill. When you're, again, they had the option, but because of the chaos, they couldn't do the switching from the variable power plan. Says, Ty Williams told WFAA that his average electric bill is around $660 per month. He said it now stands at $17,000. Williams, how in the world can anyone pay that? I mean, you go from a couple $100 a month. There's absolutely no way. It makes no sense. It's called, if somewhere, price gouging. I know there was wells that froze up and all kind of chaos, ice, everything else. Somebody made a fortune, and I don't know what's going to happen in the present administration, but someone needs to step in and change things. It said, and in case you're wondering, oilprice.com, and oilprice.com, if you've ever seen it, it keeps up with oil prices and natural gas prices and gasoline prices around the planet. It said they ran the numbers of how much it would cost to charge a Tesla in Texas earlier this week. While a regular charge cost $18, using a level 1 or 2 charger at home, estimates showed that the surge in power prices would cost you $900 to charge your Tesla. Man. So the Texas power outage has morphed into outrage for customers who have the variable power rates. We don't want to speculate, but if small, listen, this is important, after all the small businesses, people that we've seen go out of business and almost go out of business in the last year. It says, but if small and medium-sized enterprises were on these plans, the unhedged plan, the variable, their bills could be absolutely devastating. Hopefully, larger companies hedged against the spike in power rates. If not, their energy for the month could be astronomical. And I saw one estimate on the big stores, like Walmart and people like that. They probably are on a fixed plan, unhedged plan. But if not, they were talking about $7 million a day under that price of $9,000 for megawatts. So we, although we're coming out of the cold and the radar looks really good on 99.9% of the nation right now, we've got this economic disaster unfolding. I don't know how they're going to handle it yet. Some of you guys that are in that area, our power billing does not come out to the first of the month here where I'm at, so I won't know. But we were without power one day, and I have solar panels, but we still had power 3 of those days, and I just don't know how it's going to pan out here in central Mississippi yet. But the horror stories in Texas are real. They need to step in and somehow mitigate this, because people, it's not that they won't, like I said, it's that they can't. But let us know, guys, and maybe if everyone shares as much information as you can, that will bring about enough information forward that maybe somebody can put the pieces together, and enough people get together in certain areas and get in touch with the right folks in your area that's in control of this, then it may help. ERCOT, who's what we're dealing with here, Texas Power, is mostly run by, the board is mostly Canadian. So I don't know how that's going to work out or anything, but we'll just hope for the best. But let us know, guys, and keep everyone in mind. It's a heads up. Be safe.